Oh dear God. What's up guys, it's Guy. I know there are lots of changes right now, but first I would just like to say that I'm wearing one contact lens right now and it's really bothering me, so if you see tears, it's okay. Second thing, yes, I bleached my hair, bitch. Third of all, new lighting. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't really know or care. So today's video is going to be another story time video. And this video has been in the making for a while because one, I've been kind of scared to post it. Two, actually it's just one. So yeah, I've just been really scared to post this because it's about people that like I kind of like this much associate with now, but I don't. To just get things started, today's story time is going to be about the time that I moved in with my boyfriend. This one's a fucking doozy. And I would also like to say, like, before I even start the fucking story, I'm not gonna make someone look like an asshole. I'm gonna tell things how I remember them from start to finish. No exaggeration, I'm keeping names out, I'm using fake names this whole time. And if you try to look for whoever I'm talking about, you won't find it because every picture, every video, everything is gone. Okay? Goodbye. And like I said, I'm not trying to make anyone look like an asshole. If it just so happens to be that way, then isn't that too fucking bad? They screwed up so bad. So, we're just gonna fucking get started. My level of care for this person is like awfully low. If he was to like text me or something and tell me to take this video down, I'd be like, no. You can suck my ass. I'm not taking it down. You don't block it from your memory, okay, sir? I don't give a damn. I'm keeping this up unless like I get sued or something, but until that happens, we're just gonna get started. So around this time last year, July of 2015, I would say, I met this guy. Yep, that's how it always starts. I met this guy through mutual friends. Mutual friends are being kept out, I don't care. In the place he was living at currently, there were already 2 other people plus him in that house, okay? So we're gonna call my ex-boyfriend, Jake. Jake sounds nice, sounds pretty basic. And the other 2 people he lived with were Brenda and... Brenda. Lives with Brenda and, Lolly. I don't fucking know. I guess he lived with, Brenda and Lolly, okay? The 3 of them were living together, and then me and my other friend, Esther, we decided to move in because there were complications going on at home. There were complications going on with her home. We're just not gonna get into that shit because that's not the story time. The story time is when I moved in with my ex-boyfriend because Esther didn't do that. I did. So, after about a week of being moved in or whatever, we started dating. Wow, Guy, aren't you a fucking smartass? This was my first boyfriend. Never dated anyone in my life. No girlfriends, no boyfriends, no nobody. I haven't even like done anything intimate with anyone before him. Okay? I was 18 years old. I turned 18 years old actually. I wasn't 18, I just turned 18, got it? And he was 22, 23 years old, around that range. I remember his age obviously, but you know, I'm giving you a time frame. He was obviously a lot older than me, and since this was my first boyfriend, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I thought living together would have been fine, but then again, there was the complications at home that I really don't want to get into right now. Point blank, I moved in. A week later, we started dating. Shit got real in the fucking 3 months that I fucking stayed there. I'm gonna say straight up right now, not to be an asshole, for someone his age to be able to manipulate me and play me the way he did, and then do things that he did to me, all that shit, that made him look really childish. Like, I admit, bitch, I'm wrong too. I moved in. That was, in all honesty, me moving in was my only fault. Okay, that was my only fault. Everything else I personally think I did perfectly. Okay? I was a great ass boyfriend. I'm there. That's just it. I did everything right. And I'm confident in saying that too. Now, of course, there comes a time in everyone's relationship where people start getting insecure, people start getting jealous, yada yada yada. So, there would be times when I would get insecure about how I looked, how I dressed, and all that kind of shit because I think I'm an ugly ass person. I would obviously go to my boyfriend for comfort, who was 22, 23 at this time. I would obviously go to him for comfort. Oftentimes when this feeling came over me and I would talk to him about it, he would kind of dismiss it. He would kind of just be like, get over it, yada yada yada. You don't need to act this way. You're fine, yada yada yada. Like, he was kind of irritated that I was feeling this way, and I'm just like, what the fuck do you want me to do? He's also very hypocritical because when he would get insecure about something, I would just have to like coddle him. I would have to like just caress him, pet him. I would have to do all this shit that he wouldn't do with me. All that he would do when I was crying is sit there. All that he would do when I was crying is sit there. Yep. He would only sit there and then just let everything rush down. Didn't touch me, didn't say everything was okay, didn't rub my back, didn't even bring me a glass of water. Very hypocritical, and I just wasn't having it. Keep in mind, 2 of us out of the 5 people in that house had a job. I should have known right from the start that that wasn't gonna be a good thing, because it just isn't. Like, I'm sure you heard it just now and you're like, guy, are you that stupid? Yes, bitch, I am. Don't try me. I didn't have a job. My boyfriend didn't have a job. And another roommate didn't have a job. Okay? That's it. No one's business. Don't worry about it. And considering that he was quote unquote broke all the time, I obviously had to dip into my savings, buy food, buy shit, buy toilet paper, a bunch of shit, okay? I was kind of a little bit getting money from my dad at the time because he knew what was going on at home, so he was just like, okay, here's $5, okay? You get the point. And with that, I was gonna buy food, toilet paper, toothpaste, yada yada yada. I'm not saying that he wasn't independent in any way, because he did buy his own shit sometimes, which is cool. That's fine. But I often had to pay whenever we would go on dates. Actually, now that I think about it, the only date he paid for was our first date. Okay? I'm not trying to sound like an asshole. I'm telling everyone how I remember it. Beginning to end. This is how I remember it. If you don't like it, I'm fucking sorry. It's not really about money. I'm just trying to tell you everything that happened. So, in this time, I was going to a university and I had no car at the time, so I had to take the bus to and from school most of the time. I would get picked up sometimes, but whatever. I would have to take the bus, which was about 2.5 hours. I would come home very tired, and when I would come home, he usually was playing video games, which isn't bad, okay? Gamers, I don't care. It gets bad when I enter the room and you don't say anything, don't even acknowledge that I'm there. I know there's gonna be gamers out there that are like, get the fuck over it, he's in the zone. I don't fucking care. This is supposed to be a relationship. This ain't supposed to be a tunnel vision, bullshit ass, one-sided relationship. This is supposed to be 2 people in a fucking relationship trying to acknowledge each other and not be hypocritical about how I feel all the time. So you gamers out there, like I was saying, I was not acknowledged when I would enter the room. Only sometimes. He's not a bad person at all. He's just very not. I don't know how to describe it any other way. But basically, I would not be acknowledged, and then, which would get me irritated because, like I said, this is supposed to be a two-way relationship, not a one-sided relationship, you motherfucking bitch. So, and in the beginning of our relationship, he said he was clingy. Bitch, there was no piece of clingy in that whole 4-month relationship. There was no piece of clingy in you whatsoever. It was always me, okay? I remember this one other time we went to a Halloween store, and I was just trying to give him ideas for a Halloween costume or whatever, and he couldn't think of anything and got irritated at me. I was just like giving ideas as to like if he wanted to do maybe a couple costume, a single costume, do you want to just put on a wig and a hat, whatever, you know? I was just throwing out ideas. He said no to every single one of them, and when we got home, he got very irritated and was just like, no. This boy was my first boyfriend, and my feelings were pushable. They were nothing. They were a brush off the shoulder. But when he got sad or when he got irritated, I would always be there to comfort him. I'm not trying to sound like an asshole. I'm saying it how I remember it. If anyone has any questions, I do not want to answer. If I miss something in this video, then it's missed forever. If you're gonna ask me a question over social media, what else happened, I probably won't tell you, because I don't care anymore. Overall, my feelings weren't valid. It was very one-sided. That's the best way I could put it. I was in the relationship, he was somewhere else, obviously, and I will get to that in a fucking minute. He wasn't clingy at all. He wasn't even affectionate, hardly. No public affection, no affection, period. There was like hardly any affection even at home, okay? There was, of course, during the first 2 weeks of our relationship, I don't really know, quote-unquote honeymoon stage, whatever, I don't care. And then things started to take a turn. Since I was living in this apartment with him, his room was just covered with his stuff, you know? And he offered, and I asked if like, I could put some of my pictures up there or something, like put my posters up or something of whatever I wanted, right? He said yes. So I started going online, ordering some like decor that was my style, and I was just gonna put it up. Obviously when he was there, I wasn't gonna just take down some shit and put my shit up there. That's just not right. The whole affection thing was getting worse. The whole hypocritical thinking was getting out of hand, and basically, if he did something, it was okay, but if I did it, I had to be burned at the stake. That's how I see it. And then one day I was just really not having it. I came home from a long day of school. I had to go home and I had to tell him how I was feeling. God forbid I fucking did, right? I sat him down and I'm like, do you even like me anymore, right? Or something around those lines. It's really foggy about this part. One thing led to another. We were just talking. I don't remember any of the conversation. I think I said, what, you want me to move out or something? And you know what he did? He went, He shrugged. He shrugged, looked at the floor, and didn't say nothing. I looked at him like this. I was like, you are not playing with me right now. Obviously, I started crying because that's just not something you want to hear from your boyfriend, you get me? Granted, moving in really early in the relationship, but you know what? That's my part. Everything else I did fine. My feelings are valid. And whenever I would be concerned about like his health or something, like if he was sick, I would just tell him like remedies to like help him or whatever, and he would be like, stop acting like you know shit. And of course I didn't say anything back because I was a pushover at the time. But now, if anyone does that shit to me, you will get decked in the face. Don't even fucking test me. Stop acting like you know shit. Bitch, yes, I do know shit. I'm in college. You are not in college. You do not even have a job. I know I'm calling him out right now, but I do not give a fuck. I do not tolerate you anymore. Anyway, Back to the part where he basically told me to move out. I was crying, I was sobbing, and before this whole event, my friend Esther moved out. She was having other complications, so she had to move back home. So Esther moved out about a month before I had to move out. She moved out voluntarily. Bitch, I was kicked out. In all honesty. If you don't see it that way, isn't that just nice? So Esther moved out and I'm just crying and stuff because the plan was Esther and I were supposed to get our own place. So moving in with my boyfriend and his other roommates was only supposed to be a temporary thing. I get that. That's my bad. That's my bad. Esther moved out, so it's basically common sense that I was going to be staying a little longer than expected. But apparently that didn't happen. So, I was crying, Esther was gone, and he had the nerve to blame Esther. This part fucked me up. He started blaming my friend Esther. She, quote unquote, bailed on me last minute. Bitch, she moved out a month ago. What the fuck you mean she bailed out on me last minute? You bailed out on me last minute. You fucking kicked me out. And he would say things like, you guys were supposed to move out and get your own place somewhere, yada yada yada, and now she bailed on you, and like, I don't know what to do. Like, of course you don't know what to do. But what you're not supposed to do is consider my feelings invalid. And another thing, if you're gonna blame someone who doesn't even live in the house for me getting kicked out, the problem is within you, honey. I'm being straight up. He fucking blamed Esther, and it pissed me off. And for a second, I found it reasonable that he was. Thank God I don't anymore. Because now that I look back on it, why the fuck would I agree with that? That is just so horrible of me as a friend. And that makes me such a fucking pushover. And I was just pissed. I was sobbing. And like, I would be sobbing like, why isn't she moving with me? Why did she do this? Like shit like that, because he twisted my head and convinced me to also blame Esther. Bitch, that is incorrect. That is the worst thing I have ever done to a friend, is blame them for something that they didn't do. I will never make that mistake again. You fucking know I won't. So he told me to move out. I told him, fine, I'll move out this weekend. So I did. But we're not done yet, because we didn't break up yet. I was just moving out. I should have known right then and there that this relationship wasn't working. I should have broke up with him on the spot, in all honesty. But I didn't. Shit happens. The weekend I moved out, we were texting back and forth, we were still together. I would say about 3 weeks after I moved out is when we actually broke up. I'm gonna get to the day that we broke up. It was a bright, shimmering, shiny day here in Las Vegas. I was with my best friend and her sister. We went to the mall, I went shopping, I was feeling myself, I had a good ass time. On the bus ride home, because from the mall to the place I had to move to, it had to pass Jake's house. He texted me and said, hey, can you stop by on your way home from the mall? I said, sure. I was happy, I was fucking frolicking through the fucking flowers, bitch. It was a good ass day. He came outside of his apartment. I wasn't expecting nothing. I was too happy with the purchases I made. So, I just sat down, I kissed him, only for him to not return it, and I was like, that doesn't seem right, whatever, and I brushed it off, okay? He sat me down and told me he was breaking up with me. Why though? He told me, these are his words, he told me, and I quote, I used you to get over my ex. You fucking heard me correctly. He used me to get over his ex. When I heard that I was a rebound, I was done. My very first boyfriend took advantage of me, in all honesty. Took advantage of everything, considered my feelings invalid. He wanted to be a fucking princess, basically. Bitch, if anyone is a princess, it's me. Don't fucking test me today. My very first boyfriend, I was apparently a rebound. I started crying. I was so done. And of course I was like, hey, can we remain friends? Because I wanted to be that bitch. I deleted his number. I deleted everything ever. Because I do not want to see that again. He called me a rebound. We broke up. And I was done. But that doesn't matter. If he sees this video, this is just how I see things. If he wants to make a storytime video on his perspective of things, bitch, please do. I want to see your perspective. But if you got nothing to say, that's even better in all honesty. I moved in, was treated like shit, forced to move out, broken up with, and called a rebound by my first boyfriend. That ain't right. I don't know what the fuck I saw, but I was head over heels, bitch. I don't care who sees this video. I don't care who shares this video. I don't care who responds. I don't care who hates me. I don't care who gets angry at me. This is my perspective of things. If you want to see another perspective of things, you're gonna have to somehow find my ex and tell him to make a storytime video. Cause I would love to see his perspective of things. Cause this is not how I play. This was a really long video. I'm sure I left out some details. I don't care. If I left out details, they're gonna remain out. I will no longer be talking about this. This video isn't to start a war. This video isn't supposed to start an old flame. It's not happening. If anyone is to ask me to take it down, no. You are incorrect. That was it for this video, you guys. If you liked it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you share this video with all of your friends. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!